Let's talk about this cake stop motion. A while back, I had this idea of making the Julia Child's quote, "A party without a cake is just a meeting," out of sprinkles and having paper cakes around. And so to turn this into a reality, the first thing we did was create some paper and fake cakes. So some of the cake pieces are actually pieces of paper that were cut into these triangles and built into these boxes. And then some of them were just kind of like round hat boxes that you can get at the craft store. I think we got ours at Hobby Lobby. And then we painted them, and we painted some icing drips on them. And then we cut out a ton of paper sprinkles in different sizes. We just cut them out on my vinyl cutter, which is a Graphtec CE 6040, I believe. In case you're looking for a vinyl cutter, I've liked that one. So yeah, let's see. We painted our hat box. Sorry, I've got my notes in my notebook here so I don't forget to tell you anything exciting. Yep, okay. Then what we did after we got all the cake pieces ready is we created the background. So we wanted it to be pink. I just wanted everything to have this very pink feel to it. So what we did for the background is I went to Hobby Lobby and I picked out a mat board and then brought that mat board home, and we got just like the paint sample size from Home Depot. I picked out the color of pink I wanted. I had it made into the sample size, and then we painted the mat board with just a couple coats of paint and then adhered it to the countertop that we were shooting on so that it wouldn't move during shooting. So we, on the vinyl cutter, we cut out a paper template for the text that we wanted to use in the video. And then we put that text on the background and we sprinkled the sprinkles over top and tried to use that as our way to line up and create those perfect letters. And then we did take that template off, the sprinkle template off, and then we kind of just fine-tuned each of the letters. And I thought that that was an easier way to go about doing it than to just create them all from scratch, because this way we kind of already had a base of each letter. We could kind of just like add to it and fill and kind of like line up all the straight lines. We also, so in the video, we wanted a hand to enter and then to sprinkle on sprinkles to make the quote. So we were gonna be using a sprinkle bottle upside down, but of course we wanted sprinkles in it so that you could see that sprinkles were in there coming out, but we didn't want them to actually fall out onto the background. So we, just with like regular old Scotch tape, we put it over the top, and then we took an X-Acto blade and we cut around the lid so that there wasn't extra tape on it, but that it looked like a perfect sprinkle thing, but that the sprinkles couldn't come out. Then what we did is it was just so much easier for this video to film it backwards. Instead of having to create the sprinkle type letter by letter in forward motion, what we did is we first started out with everything complete. All the type was laid out and the hand came in and then pretended like it was sprinkling backwards. And what we would do is we would take off sprinkles and letters for each frame. And so this is kind of tricky. But what we did for this is we actually just like, I wrapped my hand in painter's tape and then I would put it on top of the sprinkles to pick them up. And then I would get a new thing of painter's tape and get more sprinkles to kind of bring them up off the background without having to slide them and the sprinkles break or smear or leave pigment. So that worked really well, but lately, let me grab something. Lately, I've been using this in my stop motion videos if I need to pick up really tiny things off the background. I'll just pick them up with this. This is a tiny vacuum that I got on Amazon, and so this works great too. I've used it for like pigments, I've used it for cinnamon, and I've used it for sugar and sand, like a ton of things. So this has come in handy, but the tape method worked really well too. Another thing I've done in the past is get actually like a vacuum hose and used duct tape and gaff tape to tape a straw onto it so that I had like really fine-tuned the suction abilities with the straw. So that's another option you could do too if you're doing something like this. Then of course, the model, who is Meredith Foley, she's amazing, she had to keep her hand off the background. And so we used some just kind of like objects around the house to kind of prop up her hand so that it could be at the same plane while she was doing the sprinkle type. So that's kind of an overview of how we created the Party Without a Cake is Just a Meeting stop motion video. And take a look at the behind the scenes and let me know in the comments if you have any questions.